I remember we had to wake up early, so I'd been in the MTC for 12 weeks, and I could not wait to get out. I loved the MTC and the spirit and everything that went along with that, but I was excited to get out in the field and actually teach people. And so I remember we woke up early, and they drove us to the airport, and we flew into Sacramento, and that's where I got to meet my mission president. So my first mission president on the mission was Lee Tom Perry, so L. Tom Perry's son, and Elder L. Tom Perry's son. And so we met him, and automatically I just felt like this connection with him. He just felt like just a good, happy man, and just made me smile. And I did. Seeing him and being around him for that first day just made me smile. And I remember our interviews were just I could just tell he loved me and he cared about me. And so I loved that, and that opportunity to learn from him. I remember I met my companion, my first companion, my trainer, and I was excited, right? And I was this missionary that was I just had dreams of going out and baptizing everybody I met, very ambitious and very, probably illusions of grandeur. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I just imagined just being really successful. And when I met my companion, he was at the end of his mission, as his last transfer too, and he was very awesome, incredible. I learned so much from him, but he was ready to go home. He'd had a long mission. He'd worked very hard throughout his mission, but he was, for lack of a better word, trunky. And I loved him, and I learned a ton from him, but there wasn't much work going on in the area. And so I remember coming in and being all excited, and then being kind of let down, like the air, my bubble was popped a little bit as I noticed that, okay, we're not even teaching anybody, let alone baptizing anybody yet. And so that was kind of rough for me. I learned a lot in that first couple of weeks of my mission about what missionary work was really about. It wasn't about being successful necessarily. It wasn't about the numbers or how many people you baptized or anything like that. But it was about going out and loving people. And we really didn't have a lot of success my first two transfers. Like we were teaching maybe 2 or 3 people a week, and none of them were progressing, coming to church or keeping commitments or even close to getting ready to be baptized. And so that was a little rough, but also humbling. I think I was very humbled in those first few weeks and learned a lot that prepared me for the rest of my mission. One of the things I learned also was and this was just for me personally, I learned to despise the word trunky. I just didn't even want to talk about it because of the connotations of I'm ready to go home, and I'm kind of done with that word that missionaries use. And so I made a commitment in those first 3 weeks just for me that I wasn't gonna use that word. And I think that helped. I was more present as a missionary, that I was there and that the people were what mattered for me. And so that helped a lot. My experience is a little bit limited as far as the Roseville mission, because I spent my whole mission in 2 areas. My first area was the Yuba City area, and we covered the whole stake. The members in the Yuba City area were incredible, and I believe like Marysville and a couple of the towns in that area were founded by Mormons, and there's still a good, strong stake there. And so the opportunity to learn from those people and to grow, and they were always willing to help us as missionaries, that was really nice and really, really incredible. The other area I was in was a place called Oroville, and that was a very one of my other favorite area, right? And I just loved that opportunity. And again, so for the Hmong specifically, the only branch that we had in my mission was in Oroville. The other areas, the Hmong people would just meet with the English wards, and the missionaries would sit in the back and they would translate for the Hmong people from English, right? The meeting would be in English. We would translate it into Hmong for them. And so that was, since I've come home, Oroville, or the Yuba City area that I was in first, it now has a branch as well. So now there's 2 branches in the mission. There's one more area for Hmong where Hmong missionaries served, and that was in Chico. And that I never served there. I just bounced back in between Yuba City, Oroville, then back to Yuba City, and I finished my mission in Oroville. And so that was my experience.